pistol round underway. You're going to see some mid-aggression coming through. B-Will's going to find the opener there. George Nort's going to find the second. Takes a double there, and right now it's going to be Triumph taking a lot of control in this one early on, and Shaniak is able to turn around, take down 60, and we do have ourselves a closer there in pretty quick fashion.
All started with nade and heavy utility damage on mid, just absolutely shut down the possibility of GGPR really finding anything out of that pistol overall. Very difficult when all your players are at half HP. USPs become deadly even functioning as Glocks. And it looks like they're willing to go for the second round force buy here with the Deagles.
Not a bad idea. Worth a shot here. Also, we have a stand-in as well for GGPR. They're playing with Cuz at the moment. They've got Pluto as well, so I think they're actually substituting out... Well, obviously Exceed is left for the Triumph roster, so there's a bit of a rivalry in that department. But I haven't seen Cuz yet on the broadcast, and he's going to be... Yeah.
Insider advantage. Pulling a Hunden, brought the playbook with him.
It's actually happened a lot of times. 60, once he left, actually it was the Triumph roster. He joined at the time it was Rebirth, and he brought the playbook with him, beat him in that next best of 3 as soon as he left. So they also don't have their IGL of Lowrider. A couple of worrying factors here for GGPR in terms of who they're working with at the moment.
Yeah, on the bright side, a lot of the things when it comes to Vertigo is sort of feel. So if the players have the individual I guess game sense in this way, shouldn't be that much of an issue for them to find what they're looking for and stay competitive.
I'm going to try their luck up ramp here. Exceed's close by. I mean, Exceed's such a heavy hitter. This Shaniak Exceed duo on this roster was huge. Now Pluto, he's going to be able to best him. Flank coming through pretty quick as well. Oh, and look at that. He's just slipped the perfect gap, but it's not enough. Beaky's able to adjust in time. And there goes a A-side play, very quickly moved in towards a B-side aggression here. They've kept both players as well in this position, so all is well here in the GGPR camp. JT going to be taken down as well, but still, I mean, bombs being planted on the opposite side of the map, and very well could be a force by victory.
They were able to deal with JT without getting any damage, so they're still at full, so they can tank these Deagles and Scout a little bit better than perhaps if they got tagged up, so they still have a fair chance. About as much as that can be done for this retake, and that smoke's going to help a lot too, especially with George one-tapping and Saniac down and finding the second. Wow, able to find that instant response. George left in the 1v1, not able to find him with the blind fire, just trying to find him, and Beaky's just hiding in this smoke. George just doesn't know where he is, able to piece it all together, but doesn't have a defuse kit, no time, has to give up the round.
I mean, that was an impressive victory for sure, but unable to close it out because of that lacking kit right there. Holds on to his MP9, but at the end of the day, with what GGPR had, it wasn't even a bomb plant in that last round. They only had limited rifles. So the fact that GGPR closes that out, very solid stuff coming through from them.
Yeah, able to handle things well, able to get that second round is very important. Try to keep that momentum on that T side. It can be very easy to get locked down and have a dominant CT half, which I assume Triumph are shooting for, likely like a 9-6. But GGPR able to get that early start, might be able to put a stop to that. But it won't stop George from pushing all the way down ramp.
Very aggressive. He's going to find the opener. George will take 2 as well, and Shaniak taken down. Now flank comes through 60. He's going to take down Pluto, and we got the force buy wars rolling off early on. You're in this best of 3. Right now, I think he's also saw a little bit of a gap here. George, what can you find? It's just a slimmest of margins here, but actually it's going to be Cuz besting him in the early stages of that one. Puts it into a 2v3 now at the moment. And
something you haven't seen in a while since who had first released CT's holding from on top of the forklift for a push.
Yeah, it's a good position here. You're going to get some work done. They also have to worry about this flank, though, coming through shortly from JT. It's going to be soon, and while he is running out of time, 50 seconds left onto the clock, Cuz is just buying his time, waiting for that flank to come through. He's going to push in eventually. There's no way he can clear out both of these angles, and yeah, both of them just continue to spam, firing down range here. Now Last is flanking. I think they should realize that shortly. JT's still good for the frag. It will go down. Hate. Now right around the corner lies B-Wills and 60. Flashman goes on in. Couple of them, and he will be taken down. 60 to close things out and Triumph they answer back with a force buy of their own.
Yep, and like I would assume you'd see the repetition of that, but there was no bomb plant, which is going to be a bit of an issue here. It won't stop them from going for the force, but it'll give them a lot less to work with. We're going to have mostly raw armor and utility, or deagles, lack of utility. With that, it's going to make breaking into these sites harder, especially as Triumph is able to just try to keep the distance. Don't see George with an MP9 this time around, so won't be able to just get that close range distance to shotgun him with the deagles.
Look at this. George is playing close around Apex at the moment. Buzz is close by as well. Gotta be careful with the deagles that are around the corner here. 60's not so careful. He'll just take a pop shot, take the head off of Pluto. I got to meet Pluto at LAN last week there. He's a cool guy, but right now he's going to be forced to watch from the sidelines. He's been taken down early on. 4v5 here with a minute and 10 on the clock. They're going to retrieve bomb and head back towards B, it seems, and already things are falling apart at the seams. A couple of lost frags going in the way of the CT side. And now it's going to be close range. B-Will's looking for a couple of kills as well. Oh.
Good follow-up. Get able to deny and even the flashbang coming out from Exceed for him to get the third from what is an absolutely vulnerable position. Could just be spammed through that wooden cover with the deagles. Instead gets a 3K out of it. Boosts his own frag count. Speaking of which, only 3 of the players on Triumph with frags at the moment, despite how solid the play is.
Oh my god.
Bad coming from Hate and Exceed, but they just haven't had the opportunity to obtain any frags, really.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
positions.
Hate Exceed can really be stars. I mean, 60 as well. I will say, this is a roster of 5 stars right now. I'm just going to get that clear. All 5 of those players are crazy good. Exceed had some really pop-off performances, and they're just going to clean up a bunch of frags here towards A. 60 to hold the line. Now last alive is JT with the Glock in hand.
Insomniac with a beautiful Glock headshot there. Able to take one down from what essentially should be a confirmed helpless round. Just free money for Triumph. So they continue to build this lead up 4-1. GGPR finally has their response. See how they want to handle things early with this first true AK buy. Only been able to get that one round through all the force wars at the beginning. It's going to be important for them to find this to deny Triumph from starting to build up a huge bank and be unstoppable.
It is a little bit worrisome here for GGPR. They're not working with their full 5. I think Lowrider is a great piece of the puzzle in that IGL role, and Exceed was obviously a wrecking ball duo with Insomniac. On top of that, Insomniac's best weapon is that AWP that he won't bringing into this round here. So a couple of things that you have to note here for GGPR as they try and overcome what is the mammoth of Triumph and this current 5 that they have at the moment. I mean, this roster right now is a roster that can do unbelievable amounts of damage, and hopefully we get to see more of that.
Well, the ramp retake here, it's going to be up to GGPR to be prepared, and they're not. Insomniac taken down, and they're already throwing additional utility, direct nades, trying to find players. The only push is through side, so won't find any of that utility taking their direction. And Exceed prepared to take contact after Sexy.
Yeah, I mean, he's posted up with the AWP. Nade's going to do a little more tip damage. And the P comes through from Exceed. It does net for them a frag information as well, but they continue in towards the site here. Hate's around the corner looking to deny the bomb plant. 30 seconds left onto the clock. Rotates will arrive here. You've got one on site. Molotov for that bomb plant at the moment. Trying to make their way in. Pluto is going to allow himself to cross around. Oh, right around the corner there. Cuz just can't spot him. Now bomb's been tapped, but he's running out of time. He gets off of it. And 2 around the corner. Hate's going to close it out. And so a couple of those players that have yet to step up in those previous rounds doing a big fashion in that last one right now. 3 kills from Exceed, 3 kills from Hate as well.
Yeah. Finding all those picks and turning things apart. I really like how Triumph are playing passive but re-aggressing. Later, trying to catch players in the open and off guard, find those openings off of that, get that advantage. Even with the AWP, just aggressively going for that shot side, even though she's going to be open and traded, make it a 3v2, give themselves the best chance possible in that retake. George focuses on the B main control, trying to get that early contact info, setting up to go into B, and that's a nasty shot from Sexy.
Very nice, very nice. Now it's going to be George's chance to get some work done here. M4 in hand, he spotted out though. He's going to be forced to more passive line. He has some teammates here as well. One kill in for George. He takes a double. Looking for more here. He'll be bested, but now close by his B-Wells to close the distance here. Just close this one out. Pluto, not long for this world. He'll be taken down at 6-1 and in pretty dominant fashion as well. Triumph don't seem to be struggling other than that one eco round that they lost.
Yeah, besides that eco slip up, to be fair, there hasn't been much ability to contest. The second buy for GGPR just now coming on in, able to get Nishaniak with that AWP. We'll have to see how they want to handle it on Triumph as they're still with the 5-man rifle setup. Be important for them to be able to take the duel safely against that AWP. Initial B utility. Hold things in place.
Oh, look at this push down the ramp here. George. Oh, is this a one-way? How is he not spotted yet? JT, though. He's able to react in time there, just barely. Catching some decent flak. And finally, it seems like something's going the way. Like you mentioned, not a lot of opportunities so far for them to get weapons in their hands. And now once they do, they get opening picks. So something to work off of here as they execute in towards B. It's Hate playing dodge flash, waiting for the execution. That's not coming. Instead, it's going to be a little pause in the action here. Flashbang does not blind him up. And a hesitation kicks in here. Rotates are going to arrive.
And this is giving so much space for them to reposition. You see Hate starting to pull more aggressively, able to catch Kuzi on the opening on the sandbags. SJT tries to crawl on up, just on the railing, just leaving himself exposed. And they're just all standing here, and it's just a single flashbang as they go on in. Nothing to help them out, but still able to find those picks to break into the site, get that bomb down, make it a 2v3. Just have to win the engagements to close it out. But that Augs wanting to cause some trouble, already tagging a Saniac down to 24.
Oh,
Time's ticking, and that op's been taken out. Now things start to become a little bit more bleak as Sexy's clearing out angles. And the
Oh my
surprise
God.
from Beaky Wow comes in too late. And the double combo of Exceed and Sexy clear things out and get that retake and keep Triumph dominant 7-1.
That's a nice one. That's a nice recovery. 2v3 and Exceed and Thixie. Get the job done. Get that retake rolling. Very solid stuff now. And again, that was their best chance. And it looked like in that retake, they just looked so confident. I think we're going to see a whole lot of this from Triumph throughout the best of 3. Throughout this entire tournament is utter confidence. When you have 5 players that are as good as these 5 current roster, I mean, there's just truly... the sky's the limit at the moment for these 5 guys. And we'll see if that's the case. We'll see if this continues. Again, GGPR kind of working with an interesting roster at the moment. And Beaky out towards mid, as well as I got to correct JT currently IGLing, which is kind of news to me. I think I heard murmurs of it at Frag, but there we are. Trade 1-for-1. And into the B-bomb site execution once again, but there's still a stack here ready to go. They're still prepared for the execute that comes through, and it's going to be falling down at the seams. Pluto now last alive alongside Nishaniak, and they can't get much ground here. Molotov to burn them. And such a good start here for Triumph.
You can just tell how confident they are. Bill Wills with the 4K that round, and on top of it, just hunting for those last frags, just not wanting to give them the room to do anything. And I think that's reflective in the fact that GGPR have been somewhat delayed as they do their executes. Seems to show a lack of worriness or not willing to just go in and take the engagements, and it's giving all this breathing room to Triumph, giving them more space to be able to coordinate and trade with each other, get the space to keep a dominant position as they try to go for a good old ramp rush. George taking the first contact, able to run through the molly and get point blank up close, but the smoke will favor Insomniac. And that gives them that man pick advantage early.
Nice boost as well. Oh, they find all the kills. What is going on? They found their way in towards A.
Yeah, Insomniac knows what to do, able to find 2 off that boost position, and the flashbang from JT will help make him 3. Looks like he wants to find the 4th. He wants to reaffirm that he's confident in this, but looks like Pluto will be the one to get to him first. Close that round. GGPR are able to find their 2nd. Still need to get multiple rounds in a row just to break this economy, let alone keep their owns in check.
Alrighty, there we go. That's quite a strong one. Like you mentioned, it's not over the hill just yet for GGPR. They still have a road ahead of them. They need to string rounds together. Of course, that CT side economy, it's always going to be of issue here. We've got limited money, and so only one more round, it could just do the job there. Could send them in for an eco. Right now, we're seeing a much more passive approach after a pretty explosive A-side ramp take. They are taking early control up the ramp. They've got that lurk smoke rolling on out. Molotovs to follow up towards side hall. Good positioning. Ooh, look at this boost, though. Could be good for a frag. Hate. He's going to be sent up above the smoke here. And just going to sit in this position as well for a little while before he falls off.
Seeing anything? The realization that they've left mid open for quite a while now, recognizing that timing, making sure that position's held. Sexy almost catching vision while focusing on that mid control, but it's going to be Exceed now worrying about the two players trying to push through tarp, trying to catch just that right timing. Saniac's getting all those entries last round, and he'll have to do it again. And Exceed's prepared for it, gets tagged down to 46. A little bit late on the shot, left completely blind, but able to smoke outside and pushes on through to take out Pluto and get that man advantage with absolute robbery. And looks like he's thinking about doing it again.
Oh, surely not. There's no way he
He
goes
is,
back
he's
through.
pushing through, and
Oh my god.
he's going to be going for that 3K. He wants more, and he's going to find at least two. Gets tonight on the 3, swings too wide. Soniac takes him down, leaves it to a 2-on-4. And because it gets spammed down while going for the plant, not safe enough in that position, and Hate to finish it off with 2. And Triumph have the lead 9-2.
That is such a bold play right there from Exceed. You were exactly right. He wanted more. He'll take it as well. And you can see more of that hesitation like you mentioned prior. A lot of that showing through from GGPR as they give so much time for the rotates. You have so many players ready to defend that A bomb site once you start to make your presence known, once you start to attack through that utility. If you're not executing in a quick fashion, you're going to be up against 3 defenders, and that just seems to be a consistent problem. Good timing for a timeout here for GGPR.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare situation. You hold and wait for them to push you, and then you don't, and then you decide to go for that execute, and then suddenly they're spraying right behind you, and they're doing it the complete opposite of what you feel like you're expecting them to do, which makes things very frustrating, as well as very enjoyable for Triumph getting what feels like plenty of free kills, just getting them those advantages, and feel like they're just sure through to cut through the series. Though GGPR are not going through yet, and Soniac back with that AWP, able to get one of the 2 rounds they've gotten so far, going to be looking to find some more impact.
And a much slower approach here in this round. I think that they're a little scared off of this aggression towards A ramp. They don't want to go up it too quickly. Know the risk here. So a much slower approach is in the cards. As we can see, we're going back towards A. 4 players on the T side heading that way. They've got a sole lurk. Just making sure that nobody pushes forward in the form of Cuz. So he'll join up with the rest of his team. And so now you can very clearly tell what is in the picture here with this T side. And it does seem like they have an idea as well. Stacking over a lot of presence towards this A bomb site is Triumph. They'll be ready for this.
Yeah, and Soniac getting the molly on Exceed, but it misses. It still lands, even though it bounces up. That was a very interesting situation to see happen. But they're still able to find those 2 opening picks. Hate to find the initial response, still anchoring the same position. And looks like he's waiting for just the right time to swing and go aggressive as they push on out. But they're still not. They're just holding and just waiting for some more info. Maybe a cheeky play from behind, and it'll be Hate instead to work forward and get properly punished. And Saniac with that pick. Creeping on up, he's able to turn it to 2. Make that site completely open, and George left to just hold on to his M4 as they confirm this round on the A-bomb site.
I think George might call this one off. That's best case scenario at the moment, considering the dominance that we just saw being put in. There's Shaniak rattling off that op as well. Just being patient after they find that 4v3. That sort of hesitation is something that they like. You do need those opening frags before you start to slow things down. I think he's trying to bait out some noise there by doing a little jump because he's going to be closing in on them. The footsteps have been heard here.
Aware of it. Interesting Way to go aggressive on T instead and just try to hold this angle. Try to conserve that M4, keep that CT economy intact as much as they can, because with every round GGPR gets, that'll be almost the entire economy from Triumph just completely eradicated from the struggle of being on the CT side.
Yes, I mean, the CT side economy is so fragile. So very fragile. Only
And see, they're just taking that into turn. They're just going for a half by this round rather than trying to garner what they can.
I wonder
They're
what they're
just going
gonna
to
do with
work with
this.
some deagles and try to steal the round away and maybe allow GGPR to get 4, just play conservative and try to get every round they can, not taking unnecessary risks.
I like the idea. What seems like they're going on the aggressive here. Beaky and JT are both gonna find themselves a frag apiece. Mid aggression's been deterred here. It's coming at a heavy cost of HP for the likes of Beaky, but everyone else walking away rather unscathed. So they'll take
The
that 2
fact
for
there
0.
was, yeah, the fact both of them were spraying together there, able to get the control, immediately taking away George's M4 as he goes on the swing. Spray from JT, just immediately taking him out, and having the info of Casey here
Oh,
gets taken out. And it's just Hayden Wills with their deals, not much to do other than maybe get a pick or two. Able to see the shadow JT, but not much space to work with.
oh, and look at that. Cuz on the run and gun. He's going to find himself a closer. You're exactly right. They give up 4. I did like the idea that we were seeing coming through from GGPR. They were going on the aggressive towards middle. It was kind of working out, kind of not. They had a chance there if they were able to take down Beaky to, keep things in contention. But after that, GGPR just closed things out and they know exactly what they need to do. Now we get back into more gun rounds here. But GGPR, a 9-6 half is on the horizons if they're able to convert this one.
Yeah, with how the full buy rifle rounds have gone overall, it's not looking too great for them, especially because B Wills is already prepared for this mid lurk. But despite that, JT lands that first shot with the flashbang, but it all becomes a bit problematic as Sexy is able to take control of B main, smoke it off, and get that man advantage.
Oh,
Especially
Pluto.
with George seeing the AK through the gap, all that damage tagging through, able to find the frag. And even pushing past it and will allow him to get 2 and just take the round away.
There we are. 1v4 for Enshaniak. Definitely the man you want in this position, but he doesn't have the bomb, unfortunately, for him. I don't even know if... yeah, I guess you can go for it. Why not? You got... Next round is your last, and he doesn't even get a chance. Exceed on the flank. He'll still have money to buy up and op in that next one. Everyone else the same. GGPR looking very good on economy, but still a lot of rounds here for the first half for Triumph on their opponent's map pick of GGPR.
Yeah, it reminds me, going back to the Eco 2 rounds ago, a lot of higher movement plays I feel like I've seen over the past year or two, in comparison to the past, people willing to be running with the rifles, despite no inaccuracy changes, just trying to take those close quarters engagements, and George with the run boost, able to get to the position, but a flashbang from the T side leaves him unable to actually take the fight itself and be taken out. But that might not be an issue for long, as they still want to go for more info, Exceed getting ready to contact. But the problem is they've almost lost all of their B defense. Wills will be on the rotate, but he'll have no one to help him for now.
Yeah, I've got this up front positioning from Exceed here, and you know he's going to go on the aggressive. Actually, a little bit of a finesse poke off, but it fades away. He's going to not be able to transfer for 2. He takes down Beaky, though, in the meantime. It's going to be an A-side acceleration with only Hate left to defend here. Nades in his hand, ready to throw that downrange as soon as he hears that bomb being
Taking the
tapped.
site, but the bombs still drop down at the bottom of ramp. They're just holding us going for info,
What?
and with that
What?
down, that's going to give away info, and the shot tracers give even more Hate with that double, and then now it's a 2v2. GGPR might be ending this half 11-4 from a round that should have been converted to theirs, but it looks like they're starting to recover because they're able to take down one, and Hate's trying to find the openings. The space is not enough, and he's not able to take a consistent duel, and JT will close it out and make sure they still get that 5th before going to the CT side.
Solid stuff right there to close things out. 5 to 10 half, and Triumph heading into their T side of Vertigo. Everyone's positive, though, on the scoreboard right now. Everyone on the Triumph roster. And as for the other end of things, GGPR, I mean, you've had a Choniak coming close, but he's the only one that is getting there. He's the only one hitting double digits. And so, big issue that we just don't have the numbers being posted for GGPR to get anywhere, get anything done here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like another match pause coming on out.
So look at the utility damage from that CT side half here. We got 2 players on above 300 in that first half. That is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of it reflected just straight from the pistol round, even just tons of nade damage, Molly harassing and just spacing his players out, making them concerned and not have the space they want to be able to go for positions. With it just relaxing at this halftime for the continuation. And this is going to be a very important pistol for GGPR. You need to be able to be just as strong as Triumph on that start and get that second round conversion to start evening the scoreline before Triumph can try to start running away with things with that T-side economy.
Got a little bit of an extended pause here, though. Pistol round, like you mentioned, it's going to be very important here. I think that if you're GGPR, this would be a catalyst in terms of getting that economy rolling. And you can get Inchoniak on that up as soon as possible. That could be a big deal as well. But I mean, right now, when at one point you had so many players to look forward to in the form of Inchoniak and Exceed, you no longer have that combo. And like I've said before, Exceed's now on your opponent's roster. He knows exactly what you're doing. He knows your tendencies. You've already seen games like that, come down to that being the difference maker. It certainly happened once again.
I would certainly feel they would already have a decent understanding of their tendencies, but just him moving over and how confident everyone on Triumph as a whole is playing, it's going to make it very difficult, and they might just be able to start just running over duels and kind of ignoring some of the quote unquote rules people would treat of how things should be handled when it comes to the game and start trying to close the match just using a dominant force, using the power of AK-47s, find those openings and run into these bomb sites and put them in nightmare retakes.
Here we are. Be getting into things here shortly, but still waiting on a couple of calls to be made. I want to see what GPR have for this pistol round. Right now we're seeing the investment here. Cuz is on the utility. They got the kit. I mean, this is kind of gearing up for maybe a retake A situation with the kit and the smoke. So maybe trying to jump on that bomb defusal as soon as possible. We'll see if that comes into fruition or what sort of stack we're going to see. But we are into pistol round second half of the map pick of GGPR here. We'll get the ball rolling.
Yeah, and considering this is their map pick, it makes it far more concerning, especially since Inferno's next, and with how consistent Triumph have been with having a good feel and finding utility damage, could be a bit of an issue following up into that second map. Though it won't be an issue for the stars. JT is able to find 2. Hate's trying to find that response. Beaky just evading every single shot. And Hate even running out of ammo. Just knifes out to stall for time. But it's still up to a 3-on-3. It could go for more here, just trying to find that next contact. And a missed molly could cause a little bit of an issue, as it looks like they're having fun jumping back up and down the stairs before finding that pick. George to find it. There's one small issue because of being in this solid Raptors position. I almost feel like it's stronger than quad on Inferno half the time.
That's a really good
Position
spot.
just is like so powerful as a lurk. It's just not treated. It's like the shadow version. Just more about being hidden more than the strength from utility and cover. And it will work out perfectly and allow a double to be found, Insaniac to close out the round, and GPR to get that pistol.
Oh, an absolute bloodbath as well right there on the B-bomb site. So many fights being taken. You saw some misutility, but you're exactly right. It came down to that position being held. He had to turn around Hate to find that second frag, and it just took him too long, take too much HP off his shoulders, and denies the bomb plant as well. So Triumph are going for 5 Glocks here. Actually, 3 Glocks and 2 Deagles, 60 and Hate. They're feeling a little bit confident as they found a couple of frags and a little underhand nade to take George down. Very, very low.
Interesting situation, and Exceed's willing to push through, even with that Glock. Certainly means he should get mowed down, but Sexy's able to find that response. Make it at least 3-on-4 as JT finds one, and he's looking for the second,
no.
and he even finds the third with the help of Wills. It's still 2v2, and their HP's low. Bombs left behind. But this is where it starts to become a problem, because as he goes down the ladder, Sexy knows, and now it's 2v1. It might be an absolute blunder. JT knows the right move, has to rotate to the B bomb site. HP on both these players is low. Still a reasonably safe round to convert successfully.
Chose wrong, though.
It looks like he'll be retaking from the other bomb site.
Oh, what a disaster. This was a 3 Glock round. What was it? 2 deagles that they had to work off of?
2 deals, and even worse is it doesn't matter what happens. They've gotten the bonus bomb plant money.
Yeah.
On top of the fact they already have the full buy going into the next. So the pressure is just even stronger. And Sexy with this off angle. I'm not sure if JT needs to hard clear this, and the off angle is just perfect. Sexy with 4K to completely crush the hopes of that second round conversion being anywhere close to clean. Absolutely ripping them apart. With that, even keeping the promises as a trophy to use against them in the next round. As they start to build up this lead, and GGPR have nothing but the deagles and what feels like more desperation on the force than the plan they intended to use.
Exactly right. Desperation is starting to set in, no question. I mean, that, like you mentioned, even if they would have got the bomb plant and JT would have pulled off a nice 1v2 clutch, it would have been considered a victory nonetheless for Triumph. They already got so much economy in their back pockets. The fact that they won that is just a key to that 60 difference that you can start to see on this Triumph roster. The capabilities, again, the sky's the limit for that man, because he spots him. What on earth? You see him? Oh my god, what? How did they not see each other for the longest time? They were just staring down.
And spamming that burst too quickly has to have Wills come on in and find that like first shot accurate headshot. Pluto's trying to be the next one to hold through side. Sexy's aware of the possibility that someone's close, and Insomniac pushing for this position means that they're starting to get crowded here, especially with that spam coming out, trying to bait them into the peak. Sexy's just trying to hold this as wide as he can, not get headshot by the deagle, able to avoid it, tack down to one, but still finds 2 out of it, and because the flashbang almost finds a third, but instead it'll be George to take the player out from on top of the site heaven. And Hate already holding behind for the last player, JT. Just a matter of time before he gets taken out.
Sexy finding 2 kills right there. That's just criminal. 1 HP and the deagle spam just doesn't connect for that last bullet. He was so very close. Now Hate, he's starting to get an idea here. Does he see the barrel? Nice clearing. Making sure to do his due diligence. JT, though, still around the corner. He's going to peek out a little bit too wide, and there comes an opening, or rather closing frag, I should say. 12-6 right now for Triumph. And the force bite, not only is it punished, it's easily swept away. Only 1 frag going in for GGPR, so it's not like they're doing great economic damage. So that you know, prospect that you said at the beginning of the round, that desperation, force buy, none of that adds any hope for this comeback.
Yeah, you add on top of the fact that they're averaging about half a kill per round on most of GGPR. It's hard for them to find much of anything in any regard. As they try to go for the USP play, they're able to find Insomniac. Insomniac's able to find Hate and take him down, but otherwise it's just Beaky left with the sole deagle, and Sexy will once again deny him and hold down that AK as he does so.
Hold down the AK, get that body spam in, of course, as well. And now we'll see another buy-in here. Coming through from the Triumph. A couple A1S users on this roster, and Insomniac, there's no surprises. He's kind of always heading in towards that opera. I find it interesting that a lot of operas go to the A1S, and I attribute that to whenever they have to drop their teammates, they can save an extra $200. But then whenever they have to use it, they're like, oh man, I have to use this weapon. I could be totally wrong. He could just really like it.
It's also easier, more accurate, and honestly just as viable most of the time. Generally, you're not going to be in those spray down M4A4 positions when you're picking up that rifle as an AWP player. You're not going to be going for those tight plays. You're going to be chilling a little bit more passive, going for a pick, repositioning, going for another. You're going to be treating it more like an op, and it fits in the play style a little bit better overall, since you're not planning to just hold down mouse 1 until everything you see is hopefully gone. But Sexy's able to get caught off time, assuming the coast is clear and Pluto catching that off angle. Now has to deal with a bit of a problem as Xseed's been able to lurk behind the entire defense of both these teams. JT taken out, he is only a second away, gets taken down as well, and Xseed's even hunting for more, finds the third, and it looks like he's just willing to find out where the rest of the players are. Swings too wide, finally gets punished by Kaza, and it's up to Sonic Kaza in these 2v3.
George risky angle. Oh, he's going to take his teammates behind him, and it will take Shaniak as well. Cuz and Shaniak both fallen on the wayside. And that A1S that we talked so much about, I like your idea as well. I think it's much more accurate. Gets sent down the map, falling down Vertigo. It's still falling out here to this day, but GGPR, they're running out of rounds to work with here. Eagles in play. It's a force buy. It's a desperate force buy once again.
Yeah, it feels like they're just desperately going for the force buy. Don't want to give 15, and the first map at least is already confirmed to be dealt with shortly. Multiple players already above 20 frags, even though there's only 21 rounds that have been played. This being the 21st. With it, Pluto's able to find that good initial pick playing through the smoke side, but Exceed will make sure that doesn't last for long. He isn't going to be dealing with it, but Cuz is able to find a pick of his own, and that gap could have been able to find one, but Beaky misses the shot, and it's still left to an even 3-on-3, as George's going aggressive with hate, going for these engagements, able to see info on the next player, just trying to spam damage and just slowly break them down, willing to give those trades, as they know they have the money, they have the rounds, and they're only one away from just moving to their own pick of Inferno, and see how GGPR can handle them on their own pick, let alone their opponents.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, already we're on map point here. I don't know why that HUD says best of 1, but it's a best of 3, guys. So we still have a chance for GGPR to fight back, but you're exactly right. I mean, if they have so much success, so much dominance, so much comfort on a map like Inferno, that Vertigo was your chance to catch them off their feet. That did not go your way, and then some. To say that it didn't go your way is an understatement, because they're getting dominated right now on their map pick here. Oh, nice angle, though, held from Beaky. Find the frag here. Now it's going to be a test for Shaniak. Oh, and he gets taken care of. Hate. He's good for the headshot there. Mid's compromised, and they're going to start to split in towards JT here alone on the B bomb site, getting mollied off at every angle. B-Wills is going to find the kill on the Cuz, and he's going to continue to be JT solo. Smoke by some time here as George is forced off the angle. They're going to continue to push in towards the bomb site. George has an idea of where things are heading. Jumping down towards construction as well. Smoke's going to fade away. And the long range angle's actually going to favor Pluto. But eventually we'll go down to a 1v2 here. Hate versus the world.
His position's known. That nade could do some decent damage. He's still fine, but he hits the tag player first, not able to land that transfer. Pluto's quick on the shot. GGPR at least hold on for another round. Looks like he's trying to look for the AWP mid. Meanwhile, although it is a little bit scary considering no defuse kit on him, but still knows what's going on, has enough time. Get things dealt with to breathe another day, though it's certainly important for them. Just try to get every round they can, try to build up that confidence going to Inferno.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think for the most part, this is consolidation. You know, you get to feel a little bit better about yourself. Maybe hit double digits. That would make you think that you had a little more of a chance. At least it would show in the stats.
Back in the game,
right?
You can show something on Inferno, get that confidence, and just get warmed up into it. Possibly, might be just a cold start. Be a lot of things going on. Certainly, one thing for sure is that Triumph are confident in the lead that they have and want to continue it and finish off the first map rather quickly. Sexy almost catching an angle on Kaza, but fine for now. Just going for a blind fire shot, won't connect.
Oh, he's so very close. I know we can see him a little better with that spectator and X-ray, but man, if he only saw what we could see, how close this crosshair was to connecting. Being a 4v5 is most likely what would happen. Now, Beaky's boosted up on the perch. Nades are rolling out towards middle, but a B-side executes rolling out here, and a lot of pressure lies on the back of a Soul Man and JT to force off any aggression. Counter flashbangs are going to bail him out of a rough spot here, but they continue to chuck nades down. JT catching some fire here. Wouldn't really call for a rotate in towards the site. It does come in the form of Pluto close by, but still, it's not going to be the easiest of holds.
Like him trying to go for the aggression here, but almost gets caught out by George while rotating back. But we'll have the space to just hold and wait for more contact. But it's just being used. Triumph's just gathering that space, just collecting everyone up. They know they're not ready to go in yet. Just using a single smoke on Sexy. Don't have much to work with and have 3 players stacked on up. Even a boost to peek over the smoke from Beaky should allow him to catch multiple players and just mow them down as like a super tall turret. Just reach down from the heavens and pluck the players out.
Oh!
Sexy tries to go for the op shots, but Hate causes a little bit of trouble because he and Pluto are able to recover it just in time before it all falls apart radically at the last second.
I mean, again, more rounds to their name here. It's still map point for Triumph, and there's still plenty of money to work off of here. But they're able to kick them down. Keep them at bay here. Is GGPR with an 8th round to their name. They're winning every round, though. The big issue is there's a lot going down. You can see in that last round, 2 alive. 2 rounds ago, it was 1 alive. So MP9s are still in play, lacking utility. And a map that utility favors you so much. But luckily for them, they're able to take that A ramp control still. And that doesn't become the biggest deal.
Yep, and with that being the case, just able to just get that info, and they decide to give it on up. That'll give Triumph the room to regress as they slowly contact through this. Could be a bit of an issue, even Exceed rotating from mid. And they're just going for a 5-man play towards this A site. They want to not only take it, they just want to give everything else up, focus on the A site only. And the main defense is just lurking on side so close. Just the other side of Tarp, the opponents, and Kez has gotten that first contact. Trying to focus on that side hold, able to recognize Sexy's there, able to use the tag to follow up and find the frag. That man advantage, Saniac getting sprayed through, but still keeping in a healthy state. Throw a direct molly onto Exceed, which is focused on holding his position, and George just sprays Keza through the smoke. Wildly out of nowhere, bringing it back to a 4-on-4. Everyone rotated on GGPR, but everything positioned for Triumph to take this round away.
Oh, yeah. The plant comes through as well. There's some spam for the smoke, and it's going to be B-Wills taking 2 back, putting JT now in the 1v2. He's able to isolate one of these fights, but he can't win it, and it's going to be B-Wills with the 3K to close. It's Triumph taking GGPR's map pick 16-8 in convincing fashion with a couple